As we get Brexit done, we want a closer trading partnership with African nations.
First UK-Africa Investment Summit ends with commitment to invest more than £1.5 billion in Africa.
Resources will be leveraged to fund the key intervention pillars of health.
Nigeria and 7 other D8 countries sign agreement on health and social protection. No imminent dangers of flood in 2020 despite expected heavy rains, NIMET predicts. Plus, Nigeria draws Cape Verde, Central African Republic and Liberia in Group C of Qatar 2022 African qualifiers. Good evening. Thanks for joining us on the news tonight. I'm Ian Ray John. Reading with me tonight is Dotun Oguyemi from our Lagos studio. Kemi Akinwande in Ibadan will join us in the course of the bulletin. Now the news. The first UK-Africa Investment Summit has ended in London with the British government announcing new initiatives worth over £1.5 billion expected to massively create job opportunities across Africa. The United Kingdom also offered to mobilize private investment valued at over £2.4 billion for African countries. The Secretary, Department for International Development, Alok Sharma, made his known while declaring the summit closed. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu has details.
Nigeria and 20 other African countries that account for over 80% of Africa's economy participated at the summit christened Partnership for Prosperity. Organizers believe that as Africa grows and develops, international partnerships and investment will be key to unleashing that potential and delivering a better future for all. United Kingdom wants to be that investment partner of choice for Africa, an ambition clearly shared by participants.
And as we get Brexit done, we want a closer trading partnership with African nations. Today, CDC has agreed new investments worth £300 million and are committed to invest a further £2 billion in Africa over the next 2 years. And what makes the UK different is our recognition that this huge investment needs to be felt by local communities across the whole of Africa.
Some members on President Buhari's delegation to the summit described Nigeria's participation as a worthwhile undertaking.
We've seen throughout this summit, there's been quite a lot of focus on Nigeria, and I think there's a realization that Nigeria is very much a market and a people that it's worth engaging with. And of course, we hope to see this translated into concrete investment.
We are likely now to begin to see a re-engagement that will be beneficial not only for the many African economies, but also for the UK. It means that Nigeria will have a head start in any rebuilding of business and investment relations with the UK. Nigeria can lead the way for other African countries to follow.
Some governors on the entourage of President Muhammadu Buhari used the opportunity to mingle and network with potential investors.
The 40 megawatts Dadinko Dam that has already been finished will be commissioned soon by the president, and Gombe State is advancing ahead to provide an industrial park that will attract major investors. So far, we've gotten to a level of understanding and agreeing with development partners that will come and invest, especially in agro-allied processing and manufacturing.
At the tertiary level, we are also promoting Enyimba Economic City, and we are looking for companies that can provide infrastructure, both in areas of transportation and in buildings and roads, to match with our desire to do groundbreaking for Enyimba Economic City very, very soon. I'm satisfied and happy that within the first day of this conference that I was able to break through.
In a write-up making a case for Commonwealth based on trade, President Muhammadu Buhari called for greater UK engagement in Nigeria's economy, saying, as the largest economy in Africa with nearly 200 million people, it has a great deal to offer. He said millions of highly skilled, underemployed young people are eager to work, but without the opportunities that foreign investment can bring to create jobs and build businesses. From London, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari, as part of commitment towards addressing infrastructure deficit in the country, especially in the power sector, has solicited continued support from the World Bank to improve transparency, service delivery and investor confidence in the sector. President Buhari was in audience with the President of the World Bank, David Malpass, on the sidelines of the UK-Africa Investment Summit in London. Again, State House correspondent Adamu Sambu reports.
Nigeria is at the moment enjoying a $486 million World Bank credit facility for the rehabilitation and upgrading of electricity transmission substation lines across the country, approved in 2018. The investments under the Nigeria Electricity Transmission Project will increase the power transfer capacity of the transmission network and ultimately contribute towards ensuring adequate and reliable power supply necessary for Nigeria's continued economic development. At this meeting with the World Bank officials, President Muhammadu Buhari underscored the urgency of reliable, accessible and affordable power supply as genuine efforts are made to take Nigeria to the next level of development. The World Bank, he emphasized, needs to do much more towards achieving the objectives.
The President of the World Bank sort of reaffirmed the commitment of the World Bank to continue to engage that Nigeria needs, financial support.
The current intervention by the World Bank being implemented through to the year 2021 is aimed at addressing key bottlenecks in the transmission network as well as improve access and reliable power supply to Nigerian citizens. From London, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
And back home, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo Tuesday received a delegation of the D8 Organization for Economic Cooperation led by the Secretary General, Ambassador Datu Kujafa Kushari. The Vice President expressed Buhari's administration's readiness to work closely with countries that share similar socio-economic objectives that increases economic opportunities and healthcare delivery to citizens. He pledged the commitment of the country to the D8's objectives. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
Some of the major objectives of the D8 Organization for Economic Cooperation, better known as the D8 Developing Countries, includes improving member states' position in the global economy, diversify and create new opportunities in trade relations. The organization is taking further steps in achieving these objectives, first by enhancing trade among its member countries with a population of 1.8 billion. The organization's focus is now on health as a way to achieving this under its Health and Social Protection Program.
To me, from my personal view, and I've been saying it, Nigeria is the biggest economy in Africa. But sadly, now the connectivity is not there yet. We are building right now. But Nigeria can emerge to become a real hub for all these things.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo congratulated his guests on the signing of the partnership agreement for the Health and Social Protection Program, stressing that this was important for the country and for all the 8 countries. Nigeria's agreement as partner to this has attracted the sighting of the headquarters of the Health and Social Protection Program here in the country.
The basic idea is about not only providing the primary health care, but we want to see health sector helping all the member states to advance, the economic growth and development.
The program itself is meant to support the attainment of SDGs 1, 2, and 3 that speak to poverty, that speaks to hunger, and that speaks to well-being. You see, we are also looking at departing from the usual, depending on aids to trade.
Established in 1997, the D8 is aimed at sustainable economic development and uplifting the standards of living of member states. In the State House, Jide Onifade, NJ News.
And in a related event, Nigeria and the 7 other members of the developing 8 countries have signed agreement for strengthening commitment towards the implementation of the bloc's health and social protection program. Correspondent Usman Aliyu has details.
D8 organization came into being in 1997 with the agenda of economic cooperation, but the target for the economic sustainability the organization observed is affected by the dynamics of contemporary challenges such as poverty, hunger and diseases amidst growing population of the bloc. Sequel to this, the organization resolved on initiatives to uplift its people by amplifying pillars of health and social protection program. Now the deal has been signed with a high-level diplomatic agreement citing the headquarters of the program in Abuja.
The adoption of the health and social protection program by the D8 member countries is therefore timely in assisting member states to reduce poverty and inequality, as well as boost healthcare delivery.
Resources will be leveraged to fund the key intervention pillars of health, nutrition and poverty, namely access to essential health services, improving the quality of care, governance and human resources for health, preventing non-communicable diseases and providing social protection.
A document on strategy that will guide the operation of the program is expected to be developed soon. In Abuja, Usman Aliu, NTA News.
And heading to the courts, the Supreme Court has affirmed the elections of Samuel Ortom and Amadou Fintiri as governors of Benue and Adamawa states, respectively. The seven-man panel of justices led by Justice Bode Rhodes Vival dismissed the two appeals for lacking in merit. Correspondent Viera Chimuba reports.
In a unanimous judgment of the seven-man panel led by Justice Bode Rhodes, the Supreme Court, in upholding the submissions of the respondent counsels, said it aligned its decision with the concurrent judgment of the lower courts. In addition, stated that the barometer for measuring overvoting remained the card reader, which was not proved. Counsel to Emmanuel Jime, Yusuf Ali, urged the court to nullify the re-election of Samuel Ortom on the grounds that the difference between the number of accredited voters recorded by the card reader machine and the number of votes recorded were at variance. INEC counsel E.E. Ugonna urged the court to dismiss the appeal because the appellants have no evidence, either documentary or oral, to back up the appeal. Counsel to Ortom Sebastian Horn said apart from the contradictions between pleadings and results declared, the appellant's case predicted on card reader machine lacked merit as the card reader issue was struck out at the tribunal. Counsel to PDP Chris Uche said the appellant's case suffered acute evidential deficiency both in quality and quantity.
Now the mandate given by the good people of Benue State to Governor Ortom has been judicially approved.
The Supreme Court equally affirmed Amadou Fintiri of PDP as validly elected governor of Adamawa State. The court held that the APC and its candidate Jibrila Bindo failed to prove their allegations that Fintiri emerged through overvoting. Justice Mohammed Datigo, who read the leaked judgment, held that the appellant did not prove that voting from the disputed 385 polling units in dispute led to the victory of the incumbent. In Abuja, Viera Chimuba, NTA News.
And away from the courtroom now, the Sultanate Council has expressed appreciation to the people of Sokoto State for their maturity in not engaging in violence after the Supreme Court's judgment on the governorship election in the state. This came up when Governor Aminu Waziri Tambawal paid homage at the palace. Dalhatu Abdullahi reports.
The homage on the Sultan by Governor Aminu Waziri Tambawal is coming after the final verdict of the Supreme Court on his electoral victory. Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar, said the sense of maturity shown by the people of the state is highly commendable, saying one of the political events that triggers political violence is political rally among politicians. He expressed happiness that the outcome of the recent development at the Supreme Court did not affect the stability and peaceful coexistence of the people in the state. The Sultan appealed to people of the state to bury their political differences by putting general interests of the state at heart for the overall development of the state. The Sultan maintained that many lessons were learned during the 2019 electoral processes and asked the people to use such as basis of taking state interests and maintaining sense of brotherhood ahead of political interests. Governor Aminu Waziri Tambol told the Sultan that they were at the palace to thank the people of the state through him for their sustained support and prayers. Tambol also called on the supporters of other political parties to join his administration to develop the state for the better. Earlier, Governor Tambol was received at Sultan Abubakar III International Airport, Sokoto, by his supporters. Thereafter, special prayer was observed at the Government House Mosque for his victory. In Sokoto, Alat Abdullahi, NTA News.
Up ahead, NIMET gives heads up on this year's rainfall pattern. That will be after this commercial break. Do stay.
Enjoy up to 20% off prices in the Airtel Home Broadband Yuletide promo. Get an Airtel router for just 19,999 Naira and the Airtel MiFi for just 9,999 Naira. Promo lasts till January 2020. Visit any Airtel shop or dealer outlets for this amazing offer. More data, more you. Reliable home broadband by
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Distinguished candidates, registration for UTME and DE into Nigerian tertiary institutions takes place from January 13th to February 17th, 2020. Candidates are to check their eligibility for chosen programs and institutions on ibas.jamb.gov.ng before commencing the application process. Only one cell number can be used by one candidate. To generate profile code, send your surname, first name, middle name if any, by text to 55019. A profile code of 10 characters is received by the candidate in same phone number and IBAS alert for pre-registration checking. The profile code is presented to purchase UTME and DE PIN. To receive a lost profile code, resend to 55019 as a text message from the same mobile number. Do not give your password to any person, parent, not even JAMB or any so-called tutorial teacher for any purpose. Do not register twice or take UTME and DE forms for the same year. You can upgrade your UTME to DE at no cost. Multiple registration is not allowed. In the event of any error during the registration process, seek correction from JAMB. DE registration closes same day with UTME and there will be no date extension. Pay only approved prices by JAMB.
JAMB, enhancing academic excellence.
His Excellency Engineer Abdullahi A. Sule, Governor, the government and people of Nasarawa State, heartily welcome governors of states in the North Central Geopolitical Zone, the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory FCT Abuja, members of the National Assembly from the zone, the Inspector General of Police, security chiefs and stakeholders to the North Central Nigeria Police Regional Security Summit with the theme Strategic Partnership for Effective Community Policing in the North Central Zone and FCT, to be hosted by the Nasarawa State Government. Guest speaker at the occasion is Professor Habu Galadima, Director General, National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, Kuru, Jos. The event is to hold at the Taal Conference Hotel along Jos Road, Lafayette, Nasarawa State on Wednesday, 22nd January 2020 by 11 a.m. All invited guests are to be seated by 10:30 a.m. Announcer Tijani Aliyu Ahmed, Secretary to Government of Nasarawa State.
Maybe say now 2 or 4 days when my girls won't come visit, and I need to come go expire.
Oh, my guys, they can't follow me watch this match. I must not fold the hand. Hey,
Babe, what's happening now? Sorry to disappoint you, but my subscription don't expire.
The match is not on my GoTV package.
Now your holla be that. I beg, give me your phone. Look, I show you how you go take do for my GoTV app for your phone.
Life is so much easier with my GoTV app. Make payments, clear error messages, change your package. You can also check your due dates and keep abreast of your payment history.
With the corner, Matip is there.
The new My GoTV app is everything you need in one place. So what are you waiting for? Download My GoTV app now from Google Play or App Store to enjoy the easy life. GoTV. Live it, love it.
To the outer framers, the hat tippers, the fringe growers, you don't need to hide anymore. Try Dettol Even Tone. It cleans and helps to reduce the appearance of blemishes caused by oil, dirt, and germs, giving your skin a healthy feel for an even better you.
Introducing the new Dettol Even Tone Pink Glow. Healthy skin feel for an even better you.
Us football fans love banter. All kinds of banter. Like the banter from a safe distance.
We go beat you later.
Hey, dry banter.
Your team can't even score an own goal.
I beg, take Joe. This is the only cup your team will be winning this season.
And then there's that. Better banter. Whatever the banter, banter better with Coca-Cola, the official soft drink partner of the English Premier League.
This year, the weather conditions Harmattan in Nigeria is harsh, with temperature dropping very low in some parts of the country. Many underprivileged children are exposed to these harsh weather conditions, putting them at risk to all sorts of respiratory infections with devastating consequences. We request well-meaning Nigerians to kindly donate warm clothing, blankets, beverages, soap, moisturizers, and other essential items for the benefit of these children. Get involved to support displaced and underprivileged children exposed to these harsh weather conditions. Powered by Aisha Buhari Foundation.
Your information dey important, just like your identity. Na the only way we fit take hala you o. Make you go browse easy.gotvafrica.com. Sign in with your IUC number and mobile number and scroll down to personal details and address. Then check well to see say everything bam. You fit change the one wey not correct. To finish everything, just click the save button and it don finish.
Thank you. I make sure say my phone number dey correct. That's not why GoTV fit call me make I come collect my own awoof.
Angel, time for my phone in that way because now my correct phone number dey for book.
GoTV, live it, love it.
Now look me again, no. Make you go do your own.
Good to have you back. We're not done with political stories. And from the INEC headquarters, Abuja, comes a report that all is now set for the conduct of 28 court-ordered by-elections in 12 states this Saturday. INEC correspondent Mia Ugidi reports that new resident electoral commissioners have also been sworn in.
Keeping the new year behind, but the vacancies created by 2019 still form part of the INEC agenda for 2020. Resident Electoral Commissioner of Cross River State, Frankland Biriai, resigned to contest the Bayelsa governorship election, while the Resident Electoral Commissioner of Taraba State, Baba Yusuf, passed on, all in late 2019. So, 2 seats became vacant in the sitting arrangement at the INEC Conference Hall. After due constitutional procedures from the presidency to the Senate, Umma Mukhtar of Borno State and Alalibos Nikim Johnson of Bayelsa filled these vacancies in a brief ceremony that requires only 3 pens.
I will do right to all manners of people.
This solemn oath will be put to test few hours from now.
There will be election in Cross River State in 2 constituencies. So, Dr. Johnson, your work is clearly cut out right from the beginning.
28 court-ordered elections in 12 states on the 25th of January 2020, and INEC is set with the rules clearly read out.
There will be no substitution of candidates. I wish to assure Nigerians that the Commission is ready for the rerun elections. All sensitive and non-sensitive materials have been deployed to the states.
Handshake of commitment and smiles from the INEC chair to the regs, welcoming them to the election management body of the country. Mia Ogidi, NT News.
9 members of the Imo State House of Assembly, comprising 2 PDP members, 2 members of the APGA, and 5 from the Action Alliance Party, have defected to the All Progressives Congress. The Deputy Speaker, Oke Onyekama of the PDP, has also relinquished his position, leaving the seat of the Deputy Speaker vacant. And away from Imo, the National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party has implored the Edo State chapter to work with all leaders at the grassroots towards a successful outing ahead of the governorship election slated to hold later in the year. This was at the reconciliation meeting with the caucus members in Abuja. Timothy Yusuf reports.
The National Secretariat of the PDP was filled by the presence of party leaders from Edo State. Their visit was at the instance of its National Working Committee for a meeting which was behind closed doors. After several hours of deliberations, it was disclosed that one agenda dominated the meeting. It is reconciliation of all aggrieved factions.
We have resolved that we'll go home, work with our leaders and the grassroots. So at the end of the day, the Congress, which will start from the 1st of February, will be a huge success by God's grace. And all the stakeholders here were happy with the meeting. We're one family.
Family talk, family meeting, everything is going well.
The meeting enjoined aggrieved members to embrace dialogue as the best form of dispute resolution. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NT News.
And away from politics now, no imminent dangers associated with flooding is anticipated this year, going by the 2020 seasonal rainfall prediction released by the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET. Onyengiye Fineface reports, however, that heavy intensity rainfall and dry spell are to be expected.
NIMET's rainfall prediction for 2020 indicates a near normal to earlier than normal growing season, with earliest onset likely to occur on 24th February in coastal cities of the South-South, while northern cities like Sokoto, Kebbi, Zamfara, Katsina, Jigawa, Yobe and Borno states will have onset from 2nd June. Earlier cessation date of around 26 September is expected around Katsina and Sokoto states, while later cessation date of 28 December is expected in the Niger Delta region. The length of growing season for 2020 is expected to range from 110 to 160 days in the Sahelian region of the north and 210 to 280 days in the south. The amount of rainfall will range from 400 millimeters in the north to about 3,000 millimeters in the south. Dry spell is expected in the months of June and July to last from 10 to 21 days in some states of the north. Farmers are advised to avoid early planting due to false start, which is predicted to have greater frequency. They are also advised to adopt moisture conservation techniques to avoid losses during the dry season.
To address the challenges of extreme weather events and climate change, NIMET predicts and publishes the expected annual rainfall pattern over the entire country in pursuance of its mandate of advising government and the general public on all aspects of weather and climate-related matters.
Nigerian Meteorological Agency NIMET's prediction for 2020 also covers temperature forecasts and implications of the outlook on agriculture, water resources management, power generation and distribution, health, transportation, aviation and climate conditions. In Abuja, Onyengiye Fineface, NC News.
And now looking at security, following attacks and kidnappings along Maiduguri-Damaturu Road, the theatre commander, Operation Lafia Dole, Major General Olusegun Gabriel Adeniyi, says the highway is now safe as the military has re-strategized and intensified patrols to deal decisively with Boko Haram terrorists on the road. The theatre commander stated this during a World Press Conference in Maiduguri and announced that there will be no more checkpoints along the route, but strong mobile operation teams. Maimuna Garba reports.
The growing fear and tension due to insecurity on the highway necessitated the theatre commander to call for the press conference, considering the importance of the road to Borno State, as it is so far the only safe exit and entry point, as well as linked to other parts of the country. Major General Olusegun Adeniyi said the resurgence of activities of terrorists on the highway was as a result of failure by the terrorists to achieve their goal of establishing a caliphate, thereby had to transform from terrorist to a marauding band of criminals, stressing that the military has degraded the Boko Haram terrorists, which made them resort to attacking soft targets.
I want to assure every Nigerian not to fear Boko Haram. Maiduguri Damaturu Road is very safe.
General Adeniyi further announced that there will be no checkpoint from Jimtulo to Kukareta, stressing that military has intensified clearance and long-range patrols with heavy military presence among others.
And no vehicle should stop for them. the time for opening, which is 8 o'clock, will continue to remain. And then the present timing of closing that road by 6 o'clock will remain.
The theater commander further assured Nigerians of the military's commitment to rescue those abducted by the terrorists in Maiduguri. NTA News.
Meanwhile, security issues discussed at the binational meeting between Nigeria and South Africa in 2019 are at the final stage. Nigeria's Minister of Police Affairs and the South African High Commissioner to Nigeria met in Abuja Tuesday to deliberate on this. Francis Fom has the report.
President Muhammadu Buhari was in South Africa at the height of xenophobic attacks, and issues of safety of Nigerians in South Africa was topmost. 32 bilateral agreements and memorandum of understanding covering trades and industry, science and technology, defense, agriculture and energy were signed. Here is the South African High Commissioner to Nigeria with the Police Affairs Minister to conclude discussions on the agreement, particularly in the area of internal security.
The deadline for the meeting between the two ministries was supposed to be by the end of January. Unfortunately, for logistical and other reasons, this has not happened. However, we have come in to then say, how do we then put that in operation?
We have discussed and agreed on a number of issues that is going to go and give a feedback to South Africa, and thereafter we are going to hold a meeting to concretize those issues of security that are of concern to the two countries.
In another development, the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, has unveiled a 30-minute quiz competition for pupils and secondary school students on the dangers of taking to crime.
This will further help in steering our children and youth away from all forms of crimes and criminality.
In 2019, the IGP launched a campaign against cultism and other vices across the country. In Abuja, Francis Form, NTA News.
Moving on, the quest by the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development to reintegrate internally displaced persons in the country has continued to attract willing partners. The latest is the visit by the Plateau State Governor, Simon Lalong. Ruth Aguele reports.
They are scattered everywhere across the country in a displaced state, a brunt they bear not by their making. The plight of internally displaced persons in the country has continued to raise concerns, but the determination of governments at all levels is raising hope for Suka. This visit to the ministry is saddled with the responsibility of addressing the issue by Plateau State Governor Simon Lalong to solicit support for rehabilitation and reintegration of the IDPs in the state.
We cannot have peace when our brothers and sisters are still in IDP camps. It's a source of concern to us. We cannot do everything because we have limited resources. And we also come here to also solicit for materials for reconstruction of their houses.
We must find ways and means of supporting these people so that they can return back to their communities in safety and in dignity and to go back to their normal lives.
For the ministry, this partnership with Plateau State will go a long way in supporting IDPs and take them out of camps. In a related development, the ministry met with the Palestinian ambassador to Nigeria, Saleh Fayed, as part of efforts to build stronger ties between both countries. In Abuja, Ruth Aguala, NTA News.
In other news, President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the reappointment of Dr. Samuel Ankeli as his Senior Special Assistant on Disability Matters. A statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, confirms this, as well as the reappointment of Shehu Garba as Special Assistant on Disability Matters. The appointments took effect from October 15, 2019. President Muhammadu Buhari felicitates with President Xi Jinping and all citizens of the People's Republic of China as they celebrate the Chinese Lunar Year the Year of the Rat from January the 25th. President Buhari, in a formal letter, celebrates the tremendous achievements of the Chinese people as a demonstration of successful development on a path that fits China's national reality, while setting a good example for developing countries to pursue their own developmental goals. President Buhari also recounts the strides being taken in the Nigeria-China relations, describing the collaboration as productive. The president expresses hopes for improved relations where new opportunities give room for mutual benefits. We now join Dotun in Lagos for an update on the Lagos-Ibadan Rail project. Hello, Dotun.
Hello, Here, and a warm welcome to Lagos. Now, despite expectations that the Lagos-Ibadan Railway project would be completed by April this year, Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi says this might not be visible. The minister stated this during his routine monthly inspection of the project. Despite the work done so far at the train stations, as well as laying of tracks along a significant portion of the 157-kilometer standard gauge rail line, construction of bridges and tunnels, the desire to see this 1.5 billion naira project completed by April might not be possible.
They believe that by April they will be ready. I don't know if that will be true or not. Let's wait and see.
This, the minister attributes to a few delays in getting some of the equipment to work.
The fact that administratively they are not able to berth the equipment that they need to complete this. The glasses, the doors, the windows, everything that they've imported are still not even in the seaport, but waiting to berth. And they're not able to berth because it's not yet their turn. So we're going to have a meeting with MPA to resolve all that.
I've seen, the level of commitment that the Honourable Minister and his team have put onto this, and I also am able to visualize that in a few months, this is going to change the economy of Oyo State in particular. It's going to change it significantly.
Clearly unsatisfied with this reality, tasking the contractors and ironing grey areas are a priority for the federal government. The federal government has reiterated its determination to use the maritime sector to spur economic transformation. The secretary to the government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, who stated this in Lagos, explained that the ease of doing business policy is one of the initiatives aimed at unlocking the untapped opportunities in the sector.
Efficient and effective port operations is one of the 5 major components of the ease of doing business. Harmonizing the operations of the agencies at the port into single interface units, 24 hours operations and removal of touting are some of the measures strategically mapped out to achieve these mandates. Secretary to the government of the Federation believes the implementation of this policy has led to the introduction of measures like the final billing system, 24 hours issuance of sailing clearance, and the cabotage waiver regime plans, which in turn are imparting on efficient service delivery by terminal operators, prompt fulfillment of financial obligation, and improved turnaround.
Nigeria has improved in the World Bank Ease of Doing Business Index by 39 places, and our goal is to get to be among the first 70 with initiatives like what we are about to witness. I have no doubt in my mind that we would achieve this target.
The Director General of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency noted that the number of vessels flying Nigerian flag have increased from 94 in 2018 to 125 in 2019, an evidence that the policy is working.
We are determined to change the narrative in the industry and give every Nigerian opportunity to optimize the benefits that the maritime industry offers.
The prompt implementation of the National Single Window Platform is one area business operators along the Apapa corridor optimistic will save the country more than 2.5 trillion naira in revenue being lost to inadequate infrastructure annually. In Lagos, Michael Olaleye, NTA News.
You're watching NTA Network News. Inyere will be back in Abuja after this break. Do stay tuned.
Be nice. You're welcome. Please, where's the restroom? Or just go into your right. Thank you. I follow. But you see, it's nothing to worry about.
Now, Glow 4G, the wrong thing.
Data is oxygen. Glow 4G, the new speed of life. Your #1 4G network nationwide. The very best from Glow, the grandmasters of data.
Sore throat, it's often caused by bacteria and viruses. Feels like you're having a party. You need Strepsils. It soothes the pain, plus it fights the germs with 2 germ-killing actives. Double power in 1 lozenge. Bye-bye sore throat. Take Strepsils.
It's gonna be perfect. It's gonna be worth it. It's gonna be.
It's the natural ingredients and rich flavor of Knorr that brings people together.
Enjoy up to 20% off prices in the Airtel Home Broadband Yuletide promo. Get an Airtel router for just 19,999 naira and the Airtel MiFi for just 9,999 naira. Promo lasts till January 2020. Visit any Airtel shop or dealer outlets for this amazing offer. More data, more you. Reliable home broadband by
Airtel, the smartphone network. Getting around heartburn and indigestion can be tricky if you eat too much. Eat food that is too spicy or greasy, or lie down after eating. Heartburn and indigestion could always be around the corner. When they come, be prepared with Gaviscon Double Action. It works within 3 minutes and lasts up to 4 hours. Gaviscon Double Action. Many causes, one solution.
Helen!
Hey, where's your mom?
Today is her toilet day.
What? Helen! Toilet day?
Tomorrow you're hosting a party and it's a matter of my reputation.
Even if you spend your entire day cleaning with all this, it still won't be party ready.
Impossible!
Challenge? New Ticker Harpic 10X. Even if you use this solution 10 times, it won't give you the same cleaning like Harpic. Its new Ticker formulation sticks to the bowl better, removes old stains, and gives you a sparkling clean toilet.
Wow!
New Harpic 10X
gives me the freedom from toilet day.
New Harpic 10X for 10 times better cleaning.
Telemundo new series. Meet Antonio. He has everything except a happy family. And Julieta, she has a dream man. Or is he a nightmare? Fall in love with Telemundo's new romantic comedy. It will sweep you off your feet. A Telemundo new series. Almost yours. Every weeknight at 7.
Welcome back. It was a day of profit taking at the Nigerian Stock Exchange on Tuesday as the closing numbers erased Monday's end of trade gains. Amina Najim has details on business news.
Thank you, Henry. On business news today, Africa's Export-Import Bank, Afrexim Bank, has announced a $500 million envelope support to the production and trade of African cultural and creative products over the next 2 years. President of the bank at the Creative Africa Exchange Weekend says the fund, which would build on what the bank is already doing, would be accessible as lines of credit to banks, direct financing to operators, and as guarantees. He stressed that the creative economy is increasingly recognized as a significant sector and contributor to Africa's gross domestic product. Meanwhile, the World Bank, under Nigeria's Open Government Partnership, insists that government at all levels must ensure that citizens participate actively in the budget process for better understanding of how it affects their lives. To this end, a workshop on citizens' budget and participation was organized by State's Fiscal Transparency, Accountability and Sustainability Program for Results, as Nigeria has signed up to the Open Government Partnership.
At the end of this workshop, all the 36 states of the Federation will be able to publish their own citizens' version. And with that, with the availability of the citizens' version of the budget, we then expect that citizens-led group, community-based organization, thought leaders in the communities will then take it upon themselves to start to educate and engage their communities.
And finally, the Nigerian Stock Exchange closed trading Tuesday, reversing the positive close on Monday. Investors lost 127.64 billion naira. Market capitalization and all-share index declined by 0.83% to close at 15.176 trillion naira. The all-share index ended the day's session at 29,462.76 basis points. 272 million was the number of shares that exchanged hands in 4,462 deals. This was valued at 3.713 billion naira. Its year-to-date currently stands at plus 9.76%. Now, despite the decline in the all-share index due to profit taken by investors, the most sought-after stocks remained the financial institutions of Zenith Bank, Access Bank, and UBA. The gainers chart was led by WAPCO, which advanced by 6.12%, and Nigerian Brew PLC 1.76%, and MTN Nigeria. The decliners, Dangote Cement depreciated by minus 1.14%, Guarantee Trust Bank 5.29%, as well as Access Bank. And that's about it from the business desk. Nyeri.
Thanks, Amina. So with the market ending this way today, what would be your prediction for the rest of the week?
It's possibly going to change positive during the week.
All right. Thank you so much. The House of Representatives has continued investigative hearing on alleged non-remittance of unspent budgeted funds by ministries, departments and agencies of government amounting to 1 trillion naira. National Assembly correspondent Nami Ali reports.
The ad hoc committee, in line with its mandate, is engaging ministries, departments and agencies of government to know their financial records in terms of capital projects and zonal intervention projects from 2009 to 2019. The concern of the lawmakers is based on misinformation in public space that the lawmakers were in charge of finances of constituency projects and not the MDAs, which is the practice. This investigative hearing is to bring to public knowledge the state of affairs as it relates to zonal intervention projects.
We are not into any argument. Let them give us the computation for these 10 years. How much was deducted as project fund from the capital expenditure and from the ZIP? That's all.
The National Human Rights Commission and the National Commission for Nomadic Education took their turn in availing House members with information on the said projects.
The release was 1.8
billion.
And then we implemented it in full, and then 2,782,992 remained, which was mopped.
Something billion for 2019. That's the only money remaining, and even that one has been mopped up this December.
The committee, not satisfied with explanations, requested the organizations to tender additional documents for scrutiny.
Compute the 5% charges on projects that are construction for the years under review.
From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
To ensure improved product value and build a healthy society, Nestle Nigeria PLC has gone green smart and fortified one of its popular brands, Golden One, with bio-fortified food crops to address problems of undernourishment and micronutrient deficiency. Leko Angwande was at the official relaunch and presentation of the household brand and now reports.
Established in Nigeria since 1961,
Nestle Nigerian PLC has been a household name, with one of its brands continuously evolving for 34 years. The maize and soya cereal, now fortified with Grain Smart in a unique blend of vitamins and minerals.
I think you can do better with sound and applause. Put your wonderful hands together. Thank you very much.
It is said to be one of the solutions to the prevalence of anemia in the country, which according to a World Bank report stands at 68% in children under age 5 and 50% in women of reproductive age.
It still keeps the essence of what Golden Morn is all about. Having said that, we also take the opportunity to make our product better. So the advantage that you have today is that you have a product that has protein, that has vitamins, and that has iron. Iron being a very good source to be able to combat anemia.
The micronutrient deficiency is pretty high, and the impact on the child is pretty much more a big problem for the country, but I can say largely for Sub-Saharan Africa. So we feel that we are a company that can provide and be part of the solution.
Health workers, including representatives of ministers of health and agriculture and rural development, as well as dignitaries from Ogun State government, say Nestle is leading a path that must be told by all.
I have to commend Nestle for taking this giant stride. It's a laudable milestone.
The relaunched cereal is uniquely packaged in 3 different sizes, ensuring the needed nutritional values and satisfaction for customers. The product is 100% local content. From Agbara in Ogun State, Lekon Agbonde, NTA News.
Now time to take another break. The news returns in a bit.
On Tuesday Live this week, the challenges and prospect of vehicle currency and derivable gains of the 2019 finance law is our focus. Tuesday Live at 10:30 p.m. promises to be incisive and informative. Don't miss it.
That channel where you watch just now don't waka. No panic. Can say me no panic. You go do it by yourself like ABC. Oh yeah, press the menu button on top your remote. Scroll up and down till you see Information Central. Then press OK.
Press OK.
Check the signal strength and quality. If the signal strength and quality pass 70, make you press the exit button, go back. Go advanced options, then choose installation, then go to reset and press OK.
Press OK. Wow, now you sef fit catch all those channels wey be one miss road by yourself. Yes, make your groove for no loss. You see as I do am, abi? And I see as I do am.
Go TV, live it, love it.
And I see as we do am.
Welcome back. Super Eagles of Niger Tuesday evening were drawn alongside Cape Verde, Central African Republic and Liberia in Group C of Qatar 2022 FIFA World Cup Africa's second